Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Laura Train Mama. Today we are having a look at the sixth story contained within the Thomas and Friends Annual for 2001. This story is called Best Friends. Thomas and Bertie the Bus are the best of friends, but it was not always like that. One day, Thomas was working hard on his branch line. He was waiting for Henry's train, which was coming from the main line. But Henry was late, and Thomas was not pleased. "How can I run my branch line properly if I have to wait around like this?" he said. "I'm never late." Bertie the bus was waiting for Henry too. He was going to take some of the passengers home. Thomas and Bertie had a chat and told stories to help pass the time while they waited. "Do you remember the first time I took some of your passengers for you?" asked Bertie, smiling. "Oh yes," said Thomas. "I wasn't very pleased, was I? Mind you, I didn't know how useful buses were then." "That's right," said Bertie. "You wanted to do everything yourself without any help from a silly old bus like me. You said you were faster than me, and I said you weren't. We argued. We couldn't agree on who was fastest. So we had a race to settle it," said Thomas. "And I was soon in the lead," said Bertie. "Beep," said Thomas. "Oh yes, I remember that. You set off very fast while I was getting up speed. But then you had to wait at the gate at the level crossing, and I sped through." "I soon caught up with you again though," said Bertie. "And by the time we got to the bridge, I was out in front." "That's right," said Thomas. "My coaches, Annie and Clarabelle, were very worried about me. I had to stop at the station for a big, long drink of water. Then I got up a lot of steam and chuffed off after you at top speed. Do you remember, Bertie, how I called out to you as you were waiting at a red traffic light?" "Yes, you called me slow coach," said Bertie. "It took a long time for the lights to turn to green. I was stuck there for ages. But by the time I got to where the road and the railway track ran side by side, I had nearly caught up with you." Our passengers were all cheering us on. They were enjoying themselves as much as we were. "Yes," said Thomas. "I thought you were going to catch me again, so I put on a little bit of extra speed. I managed to stay ahead. Then when you had to climb the big hill, I took the short way through the long tunnel. I rushed through as fast as I could and chuffed into the station just as you came down the hill. I was puffed out, I can tell you." Bertie smiled. "Yes, so was I. But you won the race, Thomas," he said. "The other engines still talk about it in the shed sometimes," said Thomas. "They call it the Great Race." Thomas and Bertie were having a good time talking about their famous race. They were having such a good time that they didn't hear Henry arriving until he blew his whistle extra loud. It surprised them and made them jump. Henry was impatient because he was late. "Are you two going to sit there chatting all day?" he said. "There's work to be done, you know. You two are going to make us all late." Thomas looked at Bertie. Bertie looked at Thomas. "Late indeed," said Bertie. "Well," said Thomas. "Beep, beep. What a cheek." Bertie smiled. Toot, toot. That brings us to the end of the story, Best Friends. I really hope that you enjoyed listening along with me today, and if you did, please don't forget to hit the like button. It really helps me out. Share with a friend, why not? You could even check you're subscribed if you want to hear future stories like this one. And other than that, have a great day.